to get healthy, and hopefully he will be up walking and up, doing all the right things that he likes to do, like playing golf and all this other good stuff very soon. And we love you, and we will keep calling you. Hopefully you'll call us back one of these days soon. And now, let us talk about the bad. Well, I guess I jinxed the Pittsburgh Pirates. Remember, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I was talking about the Pirates are for real. I wrote an article with them on newsbyu.com, which you can check that out, talking about how the Pirates are making people remember the good old days of Bonds and Bonilla and Van Slyke and Bob Walk and Doug Drabeck. Well, unfortunately, this team has come back to earth. I think they've hit the proverbial wall. They have not played smart baseball lately. They have not hit. The pitching has still been it's been consistent. But when you can't get to your strength, which is your bullpen, you got really no chance of winning. And unfortunately for that team, they can't outslug people. They can't really do a lot of things to make them different from other teams. And so, unfortunately for them, they suffered a bad loss. And they've lost a bunch of games in a row. I believe they've lost 9 of the last 12 games. It was actually 9 out of 10, and they just won 2 games in a row. So they are coming back to starting to play better baseball. But they have a humongous series this weekend against the Brewers. They have to find a way to beat the Brewers in order to get themselves back into the playoff conversation. But right now, the Brewers are playing so well, it's going to be an uphill challenge. I'm throwing out all my cliches today, by the way, if you haven't noticed. I wish them well. Some more bad. So much for Carlos Beltran going to San Francisco and being the savior or being the offensive juggernaut that they thought he would be. Mr. Beltran has gone to San Francisco, and I got more hits than he does, and I don't play baseball. I'm just kidding. He did have one good game. Personally, hey, it was a good move for the Giants, not a good move for the Mets. Just take it with a grain of salt. But the bottom line is, San Francisco has absolutely struggled since the trade deadline. They cannot seem to get any type of momentum going. In fact, the Arizona Diamondbacks have caught them and passed them with all their dramatic wins they keep coming up with lately. And you can't blame it all on Beltran. You got to blame it on the fact that the pitching isn't as great as it was. I mean, Lincecum has a subpar record this year. I believe he's like 9-8. Matt Cain has not been dominant as he normally was. Sanchez the other day got lit up like a Christmas tree. I mean, the bottom line is, it's a 162-game season. You're going to have stretches like this. But now they're looking up at the Diamondbacks. But remember, folks, it was last year around this time where the Giants decided they had enough. And they just started shutting everybody out. They went like 3 weeks, 19 of 21 games, I believe, where they only allowed 2 or fewer runs. And I believe like 11 of those games they had shutouts. So, can't blame Kung Fu Panda. He's hitting. Wilson's not getting an opportunity to save games, so you can't blame him for blowing games. It just becomes a question of just starting to play well again before it's too late. Some more bad. I know I mentioned earlier this about how Mr. Tiger Woods today did not make the cut after yesterday shooting a 77, and today he shot a 73. It is probably the culmination of a bad year, and it's time for him to sort of get out of the public eye for a while, work on his golf game, find himself, and come back next year or come back in December and, to sort of get himself ready for 2012. I mean, he showed signs of brilliance today, showed signs of brilliance yesterday. But the reality is, golf is a game of repetition. Golf is a game of patience. Golf is a game of steady concentration. And if you don't have either, if you don't practice hard, if you don't practice well, what the rumor is saying, the people saying that Tiger is not a fiend practicing like he used to practice, these are the results you get. So it saddens me. I was glued to the television, watching this morning to see what he was going to do. Unfortunately, he did nothing. He had a couple good moments, but the reality is he's just not the same player right now. And so the world needs him to come back, and when he does, we'll be there to cover it, and we'll be there to rejoice in it. But right now, you got to criticize what it is there. And he'll take it. He understands that people are not pleased with what he's doing on the golf course and some of the decisions that he's made. And it doesn't look good when the guy you got rid of, everyone's trying to say, that was a hasty move. And it doesn't look good when he's contending for tournaments and you're not. So hopefully he'll hit the practice range, get his game back, and we'll be talking more positively about one E.T. Woods. Some more bad. The NBA players going overseas list is growing and is getting annoying. Ron Artest is saying that he's definitely going to play pro basketball in England. I didn't even know England had professional basketball. But apparently they have some professional basketball leagues, and Ron Artest is supposedly prepared to go play there. Kevin Durant's in negotiations supposedly with a team from Turkey. Dwayne Wade's in negotiations with teams to come play overseas as well. This is serious. And to me, it's actually insulting. It's insulting because whatever happened to just like loyalty to the league and the teams that you play for? The NBA is finding out that these players are about as loyal as Benedict Arnold. And that's how I look at it as. I mean, like I said last time, can you imagine if NFL players decided to go play in Canada or go play in the Arena League just to play football because they miss playing football? It's disturbing. And somebody needs to put a stop to it before it gets real. I mean, how are we supposed to qualify for the Olympics if all of our players can't because it's part of the NBA's, deal? It don't make sense, folks. And we'll be back to talk more bad on 89.7 KLAS FM after this.
Hey, travelers. Looking for that place to stay this summer?